Welcome back, MVP Road Car family. Today we're diving into something truly special. Something that brings thunder, nostalgia, and raw American muscle back to the streets. We're talking about the 2026 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454, a nameplate reborn with modern engineering, but drenched in the spirit of the legendary classics. For muscle car fans, this is more than just a vehicle review, it's a moment. So buckle up, because we're going deep into the exterior, interior, performance, and pricing of Chevy's newest beast. Let's start the moment you lay eyes on it. The new Chevelle SS 454 doesn't try to hide what it is. It's big, it's bold, it's unapologetically muscular. The front end is where the attitude begins, with a square, doff fascia that nods directly to the 1970 Chevelle SS, while adding modern LED lighting that slices through the night like a blade. The headlights carry a dual projector design set inside black tout housings, and underneath them sits a wide mesh grille that feeds a hungry engine lurking behind it. The hood is sculpted with those classic cowl induction lines, but this time they're functional, pulling cool air into the 454 power plant every time you stomp the throttle. The stance is aggressive, long, low, and wide. Chevrolet gave it thick rear haunches that look like they're flexing even when the car is parked. The side profile rides on 20-inch forged wheels wrapped in performance tires that look ready to bite into the pavement. And if you're wondering whether Chevrolet stuck with chrome or went all in on modern gliss black trim, the answer is, you get options. The SS 454 package lets you choose between a retro-inspired polished look or a stealth performance style with black accents from front splitter to rear diffuser. Around back, the taillights keep that square, doff Chevelle heritage but integrate sleek LED bars that give it a futuristic signature. A quad exhaust setup sits beneath, emitting a sound that'll make you forget about EV silence for a moment. And yes, the car sounds like a muscle car should. Deep, rumbling, and slightly unhinged. Now let's slide inside, because the interior might be where Chevy surprised the world the most. You'd expect an old-school muscle cockpit with minimal comforts, but instead you get something that blends retro vibes with modern luxury. The dash layout is horizontally stretched, inspired by the classics, but filled with tech. Behind the steering wheel sits a fully digital 12-inch gauge cluster that you can reconfigure, from a classic twin-dial layout to a modern performance-style tack-dominated view. The steering wheel itself is thick leather, wrapped and flat-bottomed, with SS badging that lights up when you start the engine. The center console houses a crisp 14-inch infotainment touchscreen angled slightly toward the driver, and the graphics are clean, fast, and easy to navigate. You get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a premium Bose sound system, and customizable ambient lighting that glows across the cabin. But even with all this technology, Chevrolet didn't forget the muscle car essence. There are analog-style toggle switches beneath the screen for traction control, exhaust mode, suspension settings, and launch control. Yes, launch control on a Chevelle. The seats are deeply bolstered buckets trimmed in leather and Alcantara, available in classic black, two-tone red and black, or the iconic white with red stitching. They feel supportive without being punishing, making long drives surprisingly comfortable. Rear seating is, well, it's a coupe with muscle priorities. You can fit passengers back there, but they better not be NBA centers. Still, the legroom is better than expected for a performance coupe, and the trunk space is practical enough to handle weekend bags or a couple of grocery runs. Alright, now for the part most of you have been waiting for, the performance. The 454 badge wasn't slapped on for nostalgia. Under the hood sits a modernized 7.4-liter V8 engine engineered to deliver brute strength with refined control. This power plant pumps out around 650 horsepower and roughly 640 pound-feet of torque. This isn't a mild-mannered cruiser, it's a ground-shaking monster that pushes the Chevelle from 0 to 60 in just under 3.5 seconds, making it one of the fastest factory Chevelles ever built. Chevy pairs this powerhouse with a 10-speed automatic transmission that shifts fast and intelligently. But if you want to take control, you get large metal paddle shifters behind the wheel. The torque delivery is immediate. Whether you're punching it at a stoplight or accelerating onto the highway, the SS 454 responds with a violent surge that pins you to the seat. Handling-wise, it's far more composed than the classic Chevelles. Magnetic ride control keeps the car planted through corners, and the wider track adds stability. It's not a lightweight sports car, but it doesn't feel like a sloppy muscle machine either. This one is balanced, confident, and surprisingly agile for its size. The car comes with selectable driving modes including Tour, Sport, Track, and Drag. Track mode stiffens the dampers, sharpens throttle response, and adjusts the steering feel, while Drag mode optimizes traction and transmission shifts for maximum straight-line acceleration. And if you're old, cool enough to want the rear end stepping out a little, don't worry. Chevy lets you dial back the traction control to let the car dance. Braking is handled by massive Brembo calipers on all four corners, and they're needed because this car has the kind of speed where you want serious stopping power. The pedal feel is immediate, with very little fade even after repeated hard stops. Now let's talk pricing, because this is where the Chevelle SS 454 shakes up the muscle car market. Chevrolet positioned it competitively, giving enthusiasts a real shot at owning one. The base price for the SS model starts around the mid-$60,000 range, but the full 454 package, with the big engine, upgraded brakes, magnetic ride suspension, and performance interior, pushes it into the mid to high $80,000s depending on how you spec it. Add premium options like carbon fiber trim, performance tires, or the retro heritage package, and you can cross into the low $90,000 range. Is it worth it? If you're a muscle car fan who wants modern performance wrapped in legendary heritage, absolutely. You're getting a hand-built powerhouse high-end interior quality, a sound that wakes your soul, and performance numbers that can keep up with far more expensive European rivals. The 2026 Chevelle SS 454 isn't just a car, it's a statement. It says muscle isn't dead, it's evolving, it's modernizing, but it's still loyal to the roaring, tire-burning, pavement-shaking identity that made American performance cars iconic. So if you've been waiting for the next big legend, this might just be it. Thanks for riding with me on this deep dive review. Make sure you subscribe to MVP Road Car for more epic breakdowns, test drives, and automotive adventures. See you in the next one.